Hi, my name is Sunsara Taylor. I write for Revolution newspaper, and I want to say something about the ad that CBS has agreed to air during the Super Bowl, featuring Tim Tebow and his mother Pam, sponsored by Focus on the Family. Now, no one's seen the ad yet, but the basic backstory to this is that Pam was pregnant for the 5th time back in the 80s when she was a missionary in the Philippines, and she got sick and her doctor told her there may be complications in her pregnancy. And Pam's claim to fame, and the reason she's in this ad, is because she says she never even considered getting an abortion. And this is supposed to be amazing and praiseworthy because not only did she go on to have a healthy baby, that baby ended up growing up to be a college football star. The only problem is that, just like Joy Behar pointed out on The View, that baby just as easily could have grown up to be a rapist pedophile. And the idea that somehow just because you carry a pregnancy to term you'll have a college football star as a son is absurd on its face. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of you watching this are former fetuses whose mothers didn't decide to abort you, and I bet almost none of you have won the Heisman Award. But on a deeper, more fundamental level, the idea that there's something inherently valuable or praiseworthy about carrying a pregnancy to term is just wrong. A fetus is not a person. It has the potential to become a person, but until it's born, it's a subordinate part of a woman's body. And if she decides to terminate that pregnancy for whatever reason, that's perfectly fine, it's morally acceptable, there's nothing wrong with that. A woman should not be valued or celebrated based on the quality of the children that she bears. If a woman has a child and it grows up to do amazing things, wonderful things for the world, that does not validate her, any more than if a woman has a child and it grows up to do terrible things or just mediocre things. That doesn't mean she's failed. The idea that a woman's worth is reducible to the quality of her children it's a throwback to the Dark Ages. You know, back in the day when a woman was only the property of her husband and only mattered if she'd have a male baby to pass on the name and the property to. You know, back in the day when a woman who didn't do her job and obey her husband and have a male heir was not worth anything, and the husband could take another wife or have the maidservant bear him children instead. Seriously, the Dark Ages is the only framework and the only mentality in which it makes sense to celebrate a woman for risking her life to carry a pregnancy to term. And not surprisingly, that's exactly the framework that Tim Tebow, his mother Pam, and Focus on the Family, their sponsor, is rooted in. They're biblical literalists. That means they actually do believe that a woman's job is to bear children and obey her husband. If you don't believe me, go read the Bible. It's right there in Timothy. You know, the curse that's put on women for eating the apple and causing the fall of man in the first place. In Timothy it says we can only redeem ourselves by bearing children and obeying our husbands. All this is in the Bible. And these people really are biblical literalists. Tim Tebow wears those the black smudges. He writes his Bible quotes in them. And his mother has said that the Bible should be the manual for how we live our lives. And Focus on the Family has been one of the most influential organizations in this country, pushing for family values, biblical values. These people think being gay is an abomination. They've opposed gay marriage. They think the earth is 6,000 years old. These people aren't just against abortion. They're against birth control. So the problem is not just that CBS agreed to air this ad and rejected the ad for the male dating service, although that's hypocritical and wrong. The problem is not just one where all ideas should be equally allowed to be viewed. The problem is that these ideas, these Dark Ages views of women, this Dark Ages view of half of humanity, has no place in any decent society. It doesn't belong in the Super Bowl. It doesn't belong in politics. It doesn't belong in this millennia. And the fact that this has been allowed into the mainstream, the fact that it's not just Fox News airing this kind of fascist lunacy, but CBS, the mainstream, this is a profound amount about the society that we're living in. It's completely illegitimate to have these views of women propagated, just as it's completely illegitimate that the rest of the ads are going to feature women half naked and starved as objects of sexual plunder. I want to ask people to join me this Thursday. We're going to be protesting CBS at noon. It's on 52nd Street and 6th Avenue in Manhattan. That's at noon on Thursday. Women are not lesser beings. Women are not breeders. Women are not objects created for the sexual pleasure of men. Women are human beings. We are capable of participating fully and equally in every realm of human society. And when women are held back, when half of humanity is held back, all of humanity is held down. If you want a different world, if you want a different morality, if you want to be a part of the struggle to bring that into being, and if you want to learn more about this and break open this conversation and resistance around this, you need to get in touch with me. I'm doing a tour this spring on college campuses called From the Burqa to the Thong. Everything must and can change. You should get in touch with me at sunsarasworld@yahoo.com or find me on Facebook.